I'd like to call the Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting for April 22nd to order. This time I'd like to ask Reverend Ernie Jones, if you would, please come to the podium and lead us in our invocation and follow that with the pledge to the flag. Reverend Jones.
Please pray with me. Father God, for the fact that we even open these meetings coming before you, we understand that you know our tomorrows and we don't. So we ask for a lot of wisdom and knowledge and discernment in doing the business of the city of Tullahoma. So through this and through your churches and through all your ministries, you bless the citizens of Tullahoma. Father God, we do ask for healing where healing needs to be, encouragement where that needs to be, changes where it needs to be, and things to stay the same where they're supposed to be. So your wisdom, your guidance, your plan, your will is what we're asking for this evening for the people in this chamber right now. So may your will be done. May you be glorified in everything that we say, think about, and do. In Jesus' name, amen. Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend Jones. I'd like this city recorder to call the roll.
Almacher. Berry.
Here.
Glick.
Here.
Noah.
Here.
Mann.
Here.
Mathis.
Here.
Wilson.
Present.
6 present. This time I have a couple of certificates I'd like to present. We have, in our audience, we have 2 honorary aldermen tonight. We have Mr. Chris Glow and Mr. Evan Penry. If you gentlemen would join me at the podium, I'd like to present you with your certificate as honorary alderman. Thank you very much, and congratulations on being here tonight. We'll give you an opportunity to address the board a little bit later in the program. Thank you for being here. At this time, I have a couple of proclamations I'd like to read. First is to recognize the importance of our drinking water, and to say that we've got Drinking Water Week coming up. Whereas water is our most valuable natural resource, and whereas drinking water serves a vital role in our daily lives, serving an essential purpose to health, hydration, hygiene needs, and for the quality of life for our citizens that we enjoy. And whereas tap water delivers public health protection, fire protection, support for our economy, and the quality of life that we enjoy. Whereas the hard work performed by the entire water sector, designing capital projects, operators ensuring the safety and quality of drinking water, for a member of the pipe crew maintaining the infrastructure the communities rely on to transport high-quality drinking water from its source to the consumer's tap. And whereas the coronavirus pandemic has shown a light on the importance of drinking water for health, hydration, and hygiene needs, and whereas we're all stewards of water infrastructure upon which current and future generations depend, and whereas the citizens of our city are called upon to help protect the source of water from pollution, practice water conservation, and get involved with the water by familiarizing themselves with it. Now therefore be it resolved by the virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Tullahoma, I do proclaim May the 5th through the 11th, 2024 is Drinking Water Week in Tullahoma by the Tullahoma Utility Authority, and will be hosting during that week a celebration on Thursday, May the 9th from 3 until 5 p.m. and all residents of their system are invited to attend. So if someone from TUA would come forward to receive the proclamation. Thank you for being here tonight, and we're going to let you have the podium for about 2 minutes.
About 2 minutes?
If you'd like to address us about drinking water.
Sorry.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Well, thank you, Mayor. We are very proud of our water we have here, and as someone who's been in other parts of the world, we are very, very fortunate to have the quality and plentiful supply of water that we do have. Again, would like to invite everybody to come to our celebration Thursday, May 9th from 3, I think it's to 5:30 instead of 5, but either way, please come down. We'll have food, prizes, music, fun and frivolity for all. So invite everybody to come down and have a good time.
Thank you for. Okay, another proclamation. This has to do with economic development. Another week. Whereas more than 100,000 economic development or related professionals worldwide are committed to creating, retaining, and expanding top-tier opportunities that facilitate long-term equitable community growth, and whereas the economic development profession cultivates thriving neighborhoods, champions sustainability and resiliency, boosts economic prosperity, enhances the quality of life, and builds robust tax bases. And whereas economic development professionals operate through diverse economic environments, including rural, suburban, urban settings, local, state, provincial, and national governments, public and private enterprises, chambers of commerce, institutions of higher education, among many similar organizations and associations. Whereas economic development professionals serve as stewards, bringing corrections between community and stakeholders, such as residents, business leaders, elected officials, industry executives, and educational administrators, collaborative, promoting job creation, community investment, infrastructure advancements, and an optimistic future. And whereas economic developers constitute the better progress for the city of Tullahoma, and whereas since 1926, the International Economic Development Council has been a leader in the driving force in advancing economic development initiatives with a steadfast commitment to fostering growth and prosperity in communities of all sizes worldwide through equity, inclusion, sustainability, resilience, and innovation. And whereas, and now therefore be it resolved that the city of Tullahoma recognize that the week of May 6th through the 10th, 2024 is an economic development week, and remind individuals of the importance of this community celebration, which supports expanding opportunities, bettering lives, and moving society forward. And Mayor Ray Norris, would Winston Brooks is with us tonight? If not, I'll be presenting this to Winston in his office in the morning. With that, we have an opportunity on our agenda tonight for comments from citizens. If there are any interested citizens that would like to speak for up to 3 minutes about anything matters on the purview of the board, please speak into the microphone and state your name and address. Anyone who come forward?
Good evening. I'm Fran Gray, and I reside at 121 Autumn Lane in Tullahoma, Tennessee. I want to invite the community again to come to the Purple Olympics on May 4th. We also are aware that the Soapbox Derby will be occurring about the same time, and so we invite citizens to visit the Soapbox Derby. But our Purple Olympics, which is sponsored by Alzheimer's Tennessee, is a free event at Tullahoma High School. We will begin at 8:30 with registration. We will have music playing. At 9 o'clock, we will have our opening ceremony. And Mayor, thank you so much for agreeing to be part of our opening ceremony and parade. I invite any and all of you aldermen to join the mayor in our parade that goes around the gym floor. We ask that each torchbearer go for a quarter of the walk, or one side, I should say, of the gym. And then about 9:30 or maybe a little before, we will start our games. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to build friendships, and it's a great way to raise awareness for persons in our neighborhood who are affected by different forms of dementia. So that's Saturday, May 4th. And I do want to tell you, I want to thank you for providing the Blanche McClure Day proclamation. Our family visited with her for her 100th birthday, weekend before last. She is incredibly well and was so happy and so honored to receive the proclamation. I'm sure you will be hearing from her, but she will always have a big piece of Tullahoma in her heart, and she loves hearing news. She reads every word of the paper and loves to keep up with what's happening here. So thank you for remembering her for her 100th birthday. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gregg.
Good evening, Mayor, and good evening to the aldermen. Wasn't sure if this item will actually be brought up on the agenda this evening, so I wanted to take this opportunity to speak just briefly, and thank you for that opportunity. My name is Noah Connor. I represent William Vaughn, as well as Leona and Grady Vassar, in relation to the lawsuit that was filed because their rezoning applications for tax parcels 125 5.01 and 125 5.02 on Old Shelbyville Highway were denied. They were denied at a previous Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting on March 11th of this year, and that's what ultimately led my clients to file the lawsuit requesting a declaratory judgment which would revise the decision made by the board previously. In addition to doing that, my clients have renewed their applications and have again received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission.
Sir, let me remind you that this is not on the agenda tonight, and it's not something that's under the purview of the board for tonight. So if you could please yield the podium, because we'll be here. You've been here before. You've heard this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Anyone else?
My name is Wayne Brown, and I'm speaking on behalf of Skills Development Services in regard to the nonprofit appropriations for the 2025 fiscal year budget. First of all, we at Skills would like to thank the City of Tullahoma for the support that you've provided us over the years. It's greatly helped us with reaching our mission of supporting men and women with intellectual and developmental disabilities with becoming active in their community and becoming a part of their community. We're respectfully requesting continued appropriation in the new budget to continue to allow us to provide these supports for men and women. Our supports include not only allowing men and women to participate in the community, but becoming part of the community. Some of the things that we do include volunteer opportunities such as Meals on Wheels, volunteering with the state park system, and all of this requires transportation, and the support that the City of Tullahoma has provided us has allowed us to continue to provide these services. So we would respectfully request continued appropriation in the fiscal year 2025 budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. Hope Nunley with the Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce. Just simply wanting to extend an invitation to our monthly networking opportunity. That is tomorrow at 11 a.m. at Tullahoma Utilities Authority. It begins at 11 a.m. Again, there's networking, lunch, door prizes, and we would absolutely love to see you all there as we greet and welcome new businesses that have joined the chamber, newcomers to Tullahoma. So again, just extending an invitation. And then a reminder about our Women Impacting the Community Luncheon that's coming up on Tuesday, May 14th. Those nominations are open through May 1st, and this is an opportunity to lift up a woman who has excelled in business, community service, education, and lifetime achievement. And so I'm sure you all know at least 50 amazing women, and so I look forward to reviewing all of those nominations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nunley.
Sean Amadon with the Hands-On Science Center. I'm also here to talk about the budget request. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend the last one. The Hands-On Science Center has been going strong, as we have been for the past few years. We have reached over 40 zip codes in the past 12 months, as well as on track to reach 1.5 million people with our virtual programming. So we are very excited to continue working with the city, and we definitely do hope to continue to receive our allotment of the tourism tax that we've been getting. I would also request that that you all consider potentially also looking at the community service budget for nonprofits. We have not gotten a portion of that. All ours has come from the tourism side. We are a huge community service as well. We have over 15 free community events this year. Over the past several months, I've been working with Dr. Stevens with Tullahoma City Schools, and we've actually arranged to have free field trips for every single student in Tullahoma. We can't continue doing that type of service without more appropriation. So we'd like to request that we continue getting our normal tourism nonprofit income or funding, as well as being considered for a community service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Norris Carden. I know many of you. I'm the commander of the Tullahoma Civil Air Patrol Composite Squadron. I'm here also for the budget purpose. Civil Air Patrol Squadron in Tullahoma has been here for over 65 years. We still have a member who, Jack Hennon, some of you may know, is still a member. He joined in, I believe, 1956. So we have quite a history here currently. There are 40 members. I'm going to update what's in front of you. 17 cadets, 23 adults, and we have 4 more pilots in the pipeline right now. We're having an open house on the last Monday this month. I believe it's the 29th, for cadets who are interested, any of you that are interested in coming to see also what we do. Every month we roll through for the cadet part of the program, we roll through aerospace education. We have an aerospace education officer who is an aerospace engineer, testing engineer at the base. Actually, there's 2 of them who are part of our aerospace program. We have, on our second week of the month, we hit emergency services, where we can talk about anything from ground teams that would go out and help find lost persons or lost airplanes in remote areas, lost persons. The third week is physical training. We actually do PT tests. We encourage them to keep physically fit at certain levels in their growth and achievement in Civil Air Patrol. They are required to actually pass the test. Not a whole lot of organizations still do that. And the other thing that not a whole lot of organizations still do, we have character development. Tonight, our chaplain will be leading a character development and leadership session with our cadets. And so that I put it down, we're going to be giving them, and one of the things that you guys funded, we're going to be giving them all a pocket constitution so that they will have, as teens, starting at 12 years old. Yes, we put 12-year-olds in airplanes and start teaching them how to fly. So every cadet has the opportunity. Did I hit time, sir?
Finish.
Okay. Every cadet has the opportunity for 5 powered airplane flights. There's a syllabus, so they learn different things, and 5 glider flights. And we would just appreciate your continuance and supporting us. We are very happy to have been a part of Tullahoma for so long.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Thiago Nigri. I'm a member of the Imagination Library Coffee County. Also, I'm parent of 2 wonderful kids who received those monthly books. and I'm just here to talk about the donation amount. And as many of you know, the Imagination Library is a book gifting program that builds up a foundation for reading, learning, family involvement by providing special, select, age-appropriate books monthly to all children in Coffee County from ages to birth to 5. And we are really grateful for the donation last year. About this year, with the amount that we're gonna get this year, this amount should be able to cover for 1 month. That's going to be about 1,483 children in Tullahoma City will be able to receive these books. The entire amount will be able to pay for the books and also to be able to mail to them. One thing that I just want to make very clear, we love Dolly. She does wonderful things, but she does not pay for our books. Of course, that the goal of this is to be able for their own, like just for the children to be able to build their own personal library, establish strong early literacy skills, and enter school better prepare to learn. As a father of 2 kids who received those books, I can definitely tell you and assure you that part of their love that they have developed for books comes from this program. In fact, to be honest with you, my wife and I, sometimes we are not even allowed to go to the mailbox without having them hang our neck or our side. So I'm sure there's thousands of kids out there that experience the same thing, and we are very, very grateful for it. And we are very grateful for that we have such a wonderful community and the partnerships that we have, especially with the one that we work with the Hardin Hospital. They're wonderful. So therefore, again, we are grateful. We're looking forward for that amount of donation so we can keep providing, pushing forward for the kids to develop their love for the books. Thank you.
Thank you.
You good?
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Now we'll close the comments from citizens. Move into our agenda for this evening. Oh, excuse me.
Sorry. Are nonprofits still going, or is that? Are we waiting for that, or still going with nonprofits, or do I need to wait, or? Anything. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Anything that's under the purview of the board.
Okay. So hi, my name is Derek Hain. I'm from Vocational Rehabilitation Services. Vocational rehabilitation exists to help individuals with disabilities find competitive and integrated employment in the community. Simultaneously, we serve employers as they look to diversify their workforce with qualified employees. The funding provided by the City of Tullahoma will help with the operational costs of providing these services to the community, and is matched using 30% local funds to draw 70% federal funds. As part of the VR program, the CTRC at Manchester is a vital part of the community that connects VR and non-VR customers to education, training, and employment resources. Services are provided within the community with the support of local partners such as businesses, nonprofits, city, county, and state agencies, as well as local education agencies. Together with our community partners, we are creating a VR program that embodies our strong held belief that everyone can work and has something valuable to contribute to their community. We're not asking for any increase. We're very grateful for the support we get from Tullahoma, and that's all I got. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? If there's no one else, we'll close the comments from citizens and move into the agenda. I'd like to get a motion to approve the agenda. Have a motion from Barry, seconded by Ms. Wilson. No changes to the agenda. We're ready to vote. The agenda passes 6-0. With that, we'll move into our reports from Aldermen. And this evening, I'll start with Alderman Wilson.
Thanks, Mayor. I'd like to just give a quick update on the Arts Council. The Arts Council is currently working on more ways to market the arts in Tullahoma and draw tourism to Tullahoma. And currently, plans are being made for the Arts Alive Festival, which should be coming up here next month in May. So we're excited about that. And also the Downtown Arts Crawl will be happening in mid-October, possibly October 15th, and that takes place throughout downtown Tullahoma. If you've never attended either one of those, they're excellent, and we hope to see everybody come out to support the arts. I'd also like to, the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center will be having a city canvas social mixer May 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. And also May 11th through 13th is Coffee County Visual Arts Exhibit. And also South Jackson Performing Arts Center this Saturday, April 27th, will be Travis LaDoit Tribute to the King, which is Young Elvis impersonator, and that will all take place at 7 p.m. And April 30th is International Jazz Day, and South Jackson is celebrating this day with Alexis Cole, which will be in concert, and that will happen at 7 p.m. That's really a special event if you've never attended one of those, because you can purchase regular tickets, and they also have special on-stage tickets that are available for tables actually on the stage. So it's a neat little thing. And then lastly, you've probably seen some signs around the area about the gathering, prayer and worship, which is taking place Saturday, April 27th at 5 p.m., and that will happen at the Franklin County High School football stadium, which, if you're unfamiliar, is at 833 Bypass Road. And they just ask everybody to join in a humble call to prayer over families, counties, regions, and states. And just invite everyone to participate in a powerful gathering designed to bring each of us closer to God and experience a deeper hunger for worship. And if you would like to participate in that, actually as a speaker, please contact Junior Baker. His phone number is 213-705-1403. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Mann.
No report this evening.
Alderman Berry.
No report.
Alderman Clear.
I'd just like to give a shout out to the Parks and Recreation Department. They had another successful and a string of successful tournaments this past weekend, where they drew a lot of people into town, and the other tournaments have been too. So they've been a real good driver of sports tourism to Tullahoma lately, as well as Ms. Wilson just was talking about the Arts Council. And I think that South Jackson Civic Center and the Fine Arts Center are really driving a lot of arts tourism to the town. So between the sports tourism and the arts tourism, I think we're doing pretty good. So that's all I had to report.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Mather.
No report, Mayor.
Okay. Well, our two honorary aldermen are here, and I'd like to give them an opportunity to tell us what's going on in their lives, particularly at the high school. We'll start with Mr. Guo. Speak into the microphone, please.
Hello, I am Chris Guo. I am an honoring alderman today. I am a treasurer of the Mayor's Youth Council, and I'm committed to contributing positively to my community. I'm a freshman at Tullahoma High School, and I'm involved in activities like FBLA and math team. And previously this month, I placed first at the Algebra 2 competition at MTSU and third in my event of Intro to Financial Math in the State Leadership Conference of FBLA. And yeah, I work for my family restaurant, and I'm attending the National Leadership Conference this June. Thank you for having me as an honorary alderman today.
Thank you, Alderman Glow. We'll turn to Mr. Henry now.
Hi, my name is Edward Henry, and tonight I'm serving as an honorary alderman. I am a member of Mayor's Youth Council. Sorry, and I was already an honorary alderman in January, but I enjoyed it, and I wanted to come back and have another experience of what it was like. I'm also a member of FBLA, and like Chris said, prior in this month, I competed at the state leadership conference, and I placed first in my event of financial statement analysis. I will also be attending the National Leadership Conference for FBLA in June in Orlando, Florida. I also ran for a state leader office position. Unfortunately, I did not receive that, but I will definitely run again next year. So that's all.
Very good, and welcome back. Since our last board meeting, as many of you did, we attended the funeral for our County Mayor, Judd Matheny. Also attended an airport board meeting, and might just note that the chairman of the airport board passed away. His funeral was on Saturday. So we will be announcing today a position on the airport board as a vacancy that will be open for a month. I want to thank Jason Quick, our city administrator, for filling in for me last week at the Mayor's Coordinating Committee meeting. I understand that went very well. Appreciate you doing that. Attended also a planning commission meeting this past week, and the Literacy Council at the Lakewood Golf and Country Club on Friday. In addition to that, we had one other meeting with, but I don't even remember what it was. It's all last week. Anyway, with that, we'll turn to our city attorney for your report, sir.
Thanks, sir. I'm working with the attorney for the Board of Education relative to an agreement to allow our police department to utilize the high school for the training of our K-9 dog, and we should have an agreement ready for your review at the next board meeting. It'll work satisfactorily. We're excited about that. That's a good program, both for the dog and for the high school, I think. Secondly, the Tullahoma Noon Rotary Club has delivered $15,000 to the city as its contribution toward the town landscaping program, and we're in the process of arranging a photo op opportunity with the Rotary Club for the presentation of a facsimile check to get some publicity for the city for that program and for the Rotary Club. I've informed you of other developments as they've been occurring via email. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call. Thank you very much.
With that, I'll turn to the city administrator, Mr. Quick.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to say I cannot tell you how impressed I am with these two young men. Chris, for you to receive first place in that competition at MTSU, folks, you're talking about the best of the best mathematicians anywhere in the state of Tennessee. And so for a freshman to go in there and win that, man, that is incredible. So congratulations to you. Edward, FBLA. For those of you that don't know, we have a strong contingent of young people that are coming up. I think you won some national championships maybe last year's 8th graders and all that. And now they're coming through the high school ranks. So again, for you to place first in FBLA, and you're a freshman. They don't do it by freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, correct? They do. So he was competing against 18-year-olds. So I just want to say I'm very impressed with you. And if you keep dressing like that, you will get elected next year. I'm just letting you know. You look sharp, so I appreciate that. Mayor and Alderman, there's so many exciting things going on right now in our city. I've just tried to condense a few of them. We're still looking at our budget presentations with our department heads. We'll have 2 of those again later tonight with Parks and Rec and with Public Works. Thank you, Mayor, for letting me host, I guess, the planning and community meeting. For those of you that haven't attended that, it is really chock full of information. If you really want to know what's happening within Tullahoma and how different departments are working together, I would I would highly encourage you to either attend, or I know it's publicized on, or televised, I'm sorry, on LightTube. So I would highly recommend that you watch that. Emma Cook, our community engagement officer, had a lot going on this week. In fact, this morning she met with a group of downtown merchants as we are really starting to hone in our focus on downtown, what we as a city can do to help promote their business, but also drive more business, more tourism, and more economic development in downtown. So that was really exciting. Came away with a lot of great ideas. So we have a lot of synergy within that group, and so I'm excited about that. I've also been having conversations with a couple of our building owners who those buildings are vacant right now, trying to come up with ideas on things that we could do to help them make sure to let's get something going in those buildings and driving some tourism and some dollars coming into Tullahoma. Farmers Market is off again, strong as ever. I think this is our third week. Continue to see that grow. And today is Earth Day, is that correct? So we were able to provide some bags for them and for the patrons in order to gather up their goods. Food Truck Fridays continues to go. That as the weather continues to grow and get better, so does our attendance. So we're very happy with that. Also, I want to say for everyone watching and or in attendance, our city Facebook page is something, if you really want to know what's happening in the city of Tullahoma, I really highly encourage that you follow that page. Emma has done an outstanding job of making sure that we have our schedules down, not only for things that the city of Tullahoma is involved with, but also some of our sister agencies or other organizations in town. So it's a great place for you to go if you want to understand what's happening. I did attend the TCMA conference this past week, my first. It was outstanding. Able to do a lot of great networking. Come to find that some of our problems are problems that are existing within every city, large and small, within Tennessee, as far as growth, as far as trying to make sure you manage it properly, as far as being physically responsible. So was able to make some really good contacts there. Also was able to get a TML update on everything that's going on the Capitol Hill, provided that good information. And then also the Comptroller's office gave a presentation on fraud that's occurred within the state of Tennessee. And they were able to give us a lot of good examples, and several of us left saying, hey, we need to check this, and this, because there are areas that you wouldn't think about. Two last things. Was on a TIF call this morning with Sue Wilson and with Winston. That's still progressing quite well. Just so you know, from the board's perspective, you will get an update when the airport and TAEDC makes their presentation. So I've asked for them to make sure to give you as much information on kind of where that stands. So that'll be coming up in their presentation. And to lastly, to kind of play off what Alderman Glick talked about, the Play Local tournament did occur this weekend. It was a one-day tournament. We had, get this, 40 travel teams. And that consisted of approximately 1,500 people. We're thinking even more. So we had 40 teams, 1,500 visitors in our town on Saturday. They came from as far away as Huntsville, Cookeville, Gallatin, Bowling Green, Coleman, Nashville, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill. Then we had 3 teams ourselves from the city of Tullahoma, but also Bedford County, Eagleville, Moore County, Fayetteville were represented there. So it was a great opportunity for us to showcase our city and also our Parks and Rec. Of that, there were 400 players ages 6 through 13. Over $6,000 were sold in concessions, and we were able to use our 50-70 field for ages 11 through 13. So a lot of great things still happening and going on in our city. And again, spring also gets us active, so look forward to having more reports like this for you in the future. Thanks.
Very good. Investments in tourism are paying off. Very good. We'll move into the agenda start with the consent agenda. Of course, everything in the consent agenda considered to be routine will be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items. So this time we have a motion from Barry, seconded by Glick, to approve the consent agenda. No questions, but vote on the consent agenda. Consent agenda passes 6-0. Moving from the consent agenda to unfinished business, there being no other unfinished business, we'll move into new business. We'll start with resolution number 1982, a request from the Finance Department to adopt the resolution to amend the City of Tullahoma's FY24 operating budget. Motion from Barry, seconded by Mann. Any questions? Questions on the resolution? There's no question, we're ready to vote. That passes 6-0. Item 5 is resolution number 1983, a request from Alderman Daniel Berry to adopt a resolution authorizing a placement of the national motto, "In God We Trust," to be permanently displayed on all emergency vehicles operated by the City of Tullahoma. Details of that are on page 41, the resolution. Got a motion from Berry, seconded by Mathis. Any questions on the resolution? Alderman Berry, you recognize?
Yeah, just kind of briefly, this stemmed, it's been something that I've wanted to do. I think Jerry and I talked about it in 2019. We hadn't had a board that was amenable to doing it. I turn on the television and we see people chanting "Death to America." We had an unfortunate accident in Baltimore, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and that somehow turned into, from talking about what happened there and the lives lost, to people calling for a national anthem to be banned and changed. We see people burning our flags, calling for our flag to be banned and changed. We see people spitting on our military as they come through. And we turn on the television and we see people assaulting our law enforcement. This is the first step in a couple revolutions coming to say, not here in Tullahoma. That's not who we are as a community. Our emergency vehicles, these men and women, our first responders put their uniforms on every day, and they don't know what the end of that shift is going to look like. They don't know. It was described to me once, I don't know whether I'm coming home. They're willing to fly to your aid even when it means putting their lives at risk. When the world outside is falling apart, they're that first person that is through that door. They are examples and role models of who we should all be. They're not only our local heroes, but I feel that they are symbols of everything that America is and everything that America stands for. And this is just another way of getting our symbol out there, our symbol of who we are collectively, for everyone to see. There is something in this item. On the last page, there's a choice, so we'll have to amend it to one way or the other. I left it to, you'll see B, it further resolved that implementation shall begin within 90 days from the passage of this resolution with a completion goal within the current fiscal year, or there's an option, be it further resolved that funding shall be allocated in the upcoming 24-25 budget. Implementation shall begin within 90 days of the budget being passed with a completion goal within the respective fiscal year. So that would be, I left that as an option because we are at the end of our fiscal year. And I would probably defer to anyone else.
Anyone care to address the motion? Alderman Wilson.
I wholeheartedly agree with this. Definitely something that I can get behind. I know that I see this on, I have seen the motto on other, in other places, and it always gives me a sense of pride, and I think that definitely I'll vote yes for this one. And I would like to see it sooner the better, so that's me.
Y'all, City Administrator recognized. Kurt.
Mayor, so one of the things that I was able to do was go ahead and get an idea of what the cost would look like, and working with Chief Sons and Chief Pearson, we're looking at approximately 60 cars in which this identifier would be placed on. And in order for us to identify or put one on each side of the car for 60 cars, we're looking at anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 total. And so should the resolution decide that, or should you decide this resolution were to pass, I think this is something that we can look to go ahead and enact in this year's budget and not have to wait.
Very good. Good.
To answer my question, I was just going to ask, do we have any idea how much it would cost? And if it was just a low amount, I'd say let's do it sooner rather than later. No reason to wait.
I'll go ahead and make the amendment. To be it further resolved that the implementation will begin within 90 days from the passage of this resolution with the completion goal set within the current fiscal year. That's the amendment. Seconded by Barry. Vote on the amendment.
May I ask one question? Are there any parameters or anything you want to see through this resolution as far as size, as far as color, as far as design, or would you be okay to leave that up to the chiefs of fire and police?
Yeah, one of the things that I had put in here was recommend the board direct the chief of police and fire chief in consultation with you. As long as it's prominent, we can see it. You guys are the best judges of where that needs to be.
Perfect, thank you.
Ready to vote? Oh, excuse me, Alderman, you recognize?
So, how about we do this? Since that's what we do, I'll donate that so the city doesn't have to pay one dime. So we don't even have to vote on that? Don't even think we have to have a second?
We accept donations. Let's go ahead and vote on the amendment. We'll go back.
Accept the donation.
This is the current year.
We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it passes 6-0.
Well, we still
Vote
have
on the
to-
original motion.
Yes.
Still have to pass it.
Yeah. This is original.
That's the original motion.
Vote on the original motion. As amended.
Thank you all.
Good one.
Okay, resolution number 1984. A request from the Finance Department to add a resolution to approve the UDAG loan application to Northgate LLC in the amount of $200,000. Details on page 45. Need a motion? Motion by Mathis, seconded by Glick. Have the details on page 45. No question. Ready to vote?
I have some questions.
Excuse me, it's not lined up. Just go back and got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Alderman Barry.
Yeah, this doesn't, our packet doesn't say what this is being used for. I've done a couple of these in the past. I think we did one, my first meeting on the board was somebody who wanted to expand their facilities to mine on the moon. But none of them have had the application material in them, but they have all said, well, there's always been something that says this is what we're using that money for. This is how it either adds jobs or it impacts the economy. There's been something in there to say, hey, this is what we want to borrow that money for. And this just has nothing at all. And so I'd wait till everybody else had an opportunity to talk, but I would probably postpone until the next meeting to where we have time to get information and digest. But I'll wait till that because I don't want to kill the conversation.
I've simply read the first paragraph, and the loan will be utilized towards the renovation of the retail property and to provide additional employment opportunities in the area and to generate sales tax. So I believe that's
pretty generic.
That's what they're doing. It's generic is what it's for.
Anybody else have?
Oh, I thought that I had. Sure.
Alderman Wilson.
Thanks, Mayor. Yeah, I agree with the spirit of, the UDAG loan and, with the little bit of information that's in this, but I was also curious, just that it's lacking a lot of any detail, and I agree with what Alderman Berry said, just kind of what it's being used for and some of the details of it. And so I was just noticing in the recommendation, the loan committee recommends loan approval. And I was, if I could ask you, Mr. Quick, who is on the loan committee? And
you recognize?
I haven't had something come before me yet about the loan committee, so I was just curious.
I'm going to let Sue speak about that. Also, unfortunately, Mr. Lester and Mr. Woodard were unable to be here tonight. I was able to speak with Mr. Lester, and he has asked for Linda Hawkersmith, who is one of his colleagues at Harton Realty, to come. So she is here and available. If you'd like to speak with her, she can give some more information. But I want Sue to speak about the loan committee and how that process works.
The loan committee is currently comprised of the finance director and the economic development director, and then two citizens with financial background. In this case, that would be Pat Williams and Dwight Miller. Thank you. And we currently have a vacancy for a mayor's appointment on there too. We can have one more person. We just haven't found somebody else with the background, and we look for somebody with a financial background, but that doesn't have a conflict in some way to participate. So that, as what we do is evaluate different businesses' confidential financials to look at what they're doing and where they're going with it, and we also make sure the loans are secured. And then we work through an attorney to close the process after it's gone through the board.
And I guess, some of my initial thoughts that came to mind were, I don't foresee that it would go defunct, but if something were to happen that they would be defunct in the loan, obviously, how does that work? The city would take out of the lease payments for the rest? I mean, we can't seize like a portion of the mall, so, how does that work?
There is, on the UDAG loans, due to the size of them, we only accept real property as collateral, so there is an independent piece of property pledged in the application against this loan. All these loans are secured, even the small business ones, those are usually secured with equipment, but we only accept real property for collateral on the larger loans. And we have, if someone is delinquent, and we have worked with businesses before on delinquencies, initially we'll work with them because obviously we're here for economic development, we're here for jobs. So we'll work that way to see if we can resolve it and work with the business. And if we have issues, we work through our attorney, and we've had to do that before too.
Do we have any idea how many jobs that this project is forecasted?
I think that Ms. Hawkersmith can maybe answer.
Ms. Hawkersmith, do you recognize?
I don't know how many jobs that would create, but
there's a lot of maintenance that goes into a building like the mall, and the roof needs some work, just the exterior and interior. There are a lot of costs there, so.
I think one of the other areas in speaking with Mr. Lester, the courtyard, if you remember the courtyard, the fun tunnel, for those of you that are of that age, that connected it to where Castor Knott used to be, I believe he has some ideas on things he's looking to do with that courtyard. What that is, I can't tell you. I just know that was part of what he was looking at as well, was doing something with that courtyard because it's unused space right now.
Further question, Ms. Bell?
Thank you.
Alderman Berry.
Mayor, if I may, when we do these, in the past it had said this is what we're going to do with the money, and I actually have an item that'll be on the next agenda to kind of get a report on who all has gotten these and where they are with what they said they were going to do. Do we hold them to? Do we say, hey, this is what you're getting the $200,000 for. This is what you said you'd do with it. And do we follow up with that? Or we just say, hey, here's $200,000. You can sit it in the bank and let it collect interest if you, and I'm not saying it.
I've not seen that. Generally, what we're looking at is there are specific projects people are doing, and so we've been able to see, results. We don't go out and quantify how many people did you employ, but we do keep track of, is this, is it operating? What's it look like in terms of it was a building renovation? And I watch for property taxes, because a lot of cases what you're looking at is a return to us in property tax growth because they have they've invested in the business, invested in the building. And so we'll see that kind of return too.
Do you know what the specific project is, or is it more maintenance, or I don't want to drill you if you don't.
Well, it's, some of it is like when a tenant leaves, then we have to go in and remodel for the next tenant, and that's very expensive. We have to do that on the front end. And like he said about the courtyard, talking about maybe enclosing that to bring another tenant in. So.
If nobody else has, I don't want to close it off. I'd like to make a motion to postpone until the next meeting. And what I'd like to see come back is, this is what we want to spend that $200,000 on. This is how it's going to, if it's going to help with property tax, then this is how it's going to do that. If it's going to create jobs, then this is an estimate on how it's going to do. I love my numbers. Let's figure out a way to quantify. And there's going to be something, I already started working on it, related to this in general for the next meeting or the meeting after. But I'd like to make a motion to postpone until we have that information.
I seconded this motion, and I seconded the first motion. And the first one, I might have been assuming facts that weren't in evidence. I assumed that it was to renovate the building for a new tenant coming in that was going to bring in jobs and stuff. So I guess looking at it now, I would like to look back when they bring in more, tell us what it is exactly for, and they might not be able to say who is coming in, but they could say, yes, they are renovating the building for a new tenant that will bring jobs to Tullahoma. That's what I assumed it was for, but that might not be the case. So I made a second to the motion to postpone.
Any further discussion? Motion to postpone, and ready to vote. Three noes, 3 yeses. Motion dies. Go back to the original motion.
I'm going to vote no, and this will end up failing. Well, if 3 of us vote no. And so
it died.
Well, that was the motion to postpone. Now we'll vote on the issue. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not ready to vote yes on this, so I will vote no on this issue because I'm not prepared to vote on it.
Have a motion on the floor. Further discussion. Ready to vote? That motion passes 4-2. Loans approved.
Thank you.
Next item, number 2457, request from the Finance Department for acceptance of the FY 2023 audit as presented. Motion from Barry, second by Mann. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Passes 6-0. Item number 2458. A request from the Police Department to approve a quote of $795 per month. Total annual amount of $9,540 from Cheyenne Outdoor Services to provide lawn care and maintenance for the Tullahoma Police Department. Authorize mayor to sign the agreement. Motion. Motion from the left, second by Mann. Any discussion? Details of that on page 48. Ready to vote?
I have a question. So the only thing that kept the other two from being able was this certificate. Is that something that's required by state law? How does that benefit? Is it required? Does it benefit? I don't know enough about landscaping. $795 seems like a lot of money.
So I'm with you as well. Part of the issue, so it's irrigation, all the weed control and management. From what I'm understanding, the slope that goes down the hill is an issue for quite a few vendors. So when it came time to bid on this, really there were 3 people, from my understanding, that were interested. Obviously, Mr. Shahan. There was a second one that he said absolutely not. In fact, he didn't want to bid on it at all, so he chose to remain a non-bidder. The third one was not certified in order to do so. And so that's how we got to Mr. Shahan. Is it required? I cannot tell you that. I do know that was in the bid package, the certification, but I cannot tell you at this time if that was a requirement by the state.
Is that the pesticide certification?
No, it is required.
It is required by the state. Okay.
Chemicals.
Any further discussion? Ready to vote? Passes 6-0. Item number 2459, request from the Police Department to approve a quote from Midmark to repair, relocate, and install walls at the animal shelter for a cost of $46,219 and authorize the mayor to sign the drawings required to process the order. Motion from Barry, seconded by Mann. Details on the request from the Police Department. Ready to vote? Passes 6-0, being no other new business. We return to Board Mayor and Aldermen. Go directly into the beer board. Call the beer board to order. Is there anyone in the public who would like to have any public comments for the beer board? Seeing none, we'll move into the agenda. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion from Barry, seconded by Mann. Question on the consent agenda. All it is the minutes from the last board meeting. Ready to vote. Passes 6-0, being no other unfinished business, being no other new business. Beer board will be adjourned. Adjourned. Okay.